the list of GeoFessr expeditions, again, proceeding by alphabetical order, we have Brazil. Um, so I guess I can just, okay, so we have, again here, single player, 3 minutes, pen moving, panning, and zooming allowed. Okay, so this is kind of typical looking. Let's see, this looks like it's probably the place here, Cachoeiras de Macacu. Um, okay, and so I don't know where this is. This sort of general appearance, um, right? We have these kind of irregular hills. It looks a lot like the area around Rio de Janeiro, um, which is, on the East Coast. You can see there's this dent here, that this is the area that most of the population of Brazil lives in. So I'll just plunk it here for now. Okay, and let's see. Just a quick check of the area to see if there's yeah, I'm not seeing anything clearly. Yeah. Also in the name Cachoeiras de Macacu, Cachoeira means oh, there it is. Okay, see here /RJ, that's the state. That they have two letter abbreviations. That state is Rio de Janeiro itself. Um, so then we're looking for Cachoeiras de Macacu. Um, okay, and there's a rule in that in the pronunciation there, if something ends in an I or a U, the last syllable is stressed. So that's very different from Spanish. So, it's pronounced macacu, not macacu. Um, there's Cachoeiras, no, um, yeah, so the northern border of the state is, it's up here. The next state to the north is called Espirito Santo. Um, let's see, Cachoeiras de Macacu. Hmm. Hey, that's okay. Uh, yeah, so sometimes it can be hard to find, even, this isn't even a very small town, but, I missed it completely looking through the map. Um, and so I was right about the appearance being very similar to the city of Rio de Janeiro, which, remember, if you've seen pictures of it, that it has um, steep slopes. It has these old geologically old rocks, mountains, um, and that it's very very wet sort of climate, um, and forested like that. Okay, so next round. Okay, so this um, well, we're in an alley first of all, but yeah, so this, it looks like this is maybe a lower than average level of economic development. That you certainly see poor neighborhoods like this in many areas, but I think this may actually be a poorer part of the country from the appearance. Um, which that those tend to be in the north and west. Um, okay. We'll look down toward those larger buildings. Here you can see some of the sort of architecture that's, this is fairly normal. Again, I think this might be a less developed state. What I'm looking for is that the phone numbers in Brazil are, they make a geographic sense. There's a pattern that can be remembered, and so okay, that's 8 digits. Like this is that's just the local number. So what we want is one with an area code. So that will be a total of 10 digits, starting with a 2-digit area code. Um, let's see. So one of the things that's most characteristic, of course, is that signs in Brazil are in Portuguese and not Spanish. And here, okay, we can see um, 91. So the pattern then is that 9 is up here, so, and then as I remember, it goes from east to west in 9, so São Luís is toward the end. That this I think is likely to be, Manaus or somewhere near it, and there aren't any other large cities in this area, so I think that 91 is very likely to be Manaus. And I don't have much time left, so it was a less developed part of the country, their Amazonas state, right? Um, that is, if that turns out to be correct. Um, okay. So it was Belém. Okay. Um, so what I said about the phone numbers, in the break between these rounds, I can explain those. That the pattern is that it starts in the most developed and populated part of the country here. That one is the state of Sao Paulo in the phone numbering system. Two is the state of Rio de Janeiro and Espirito Santo. Um, Espirito Santo is less populated. It's mostly the two numbers will be, in Rio de Janeiro. And then three area codes are in Minas Gerais, which is more, it looks more like Rio in the bottom part, in the southern part where most of the population is. And then Minas Gerais has a less populated and poorer sort of outback, in the direction, out toward Brasilia here. Um, and then, so 1, 2, and 3 are this central part of the country. I think it's referred to as the southeast. That would be Centro-Leste in Portuguese. Uh, and then 5, sorry, no, we have 1, 2, and 3. 4, um, I think is Parana, and I think Santa Catarina is also in 4. If it isn't, it's in 5. Um, and then um, and then 5 is Rio Grande do Sul. Um, Now that here there are two similar named states. This is RS in the abbreviations. Uh, Rio Grande do Sul. There is also Rio Grande do Norte, which is at the opposite end of this eastern side. So Rio Grande do Norte state is up here. Um, and then so in the area in the phone numbers I got up to 5, 6. Um, is what's refer what I might refer to as the Midwest. Um, you know, Centro-Leste, I think is no Centro-Weste is the term for that. Um, right, Leste is east, Weste is west. Um, and that is and so that is Brasilia, the surrounding state, which is called Goiás, and Mato Grosso do Sul. Also in six are Rondônia here, and then completing the entire BR 364 road out to the Peruvian border. So Acre is also in the six uh, range of phone numbers. Okay, and then it goes up here. That seven is Bahia, and I'm not sure if I think Bahia is only seven, and then eight is these small states in this corner. Which Sergipe, Alagoas, Pernambuco, Paraíba, Rio Grande do Norte, Ceará, and Piauí. I think are in the 8 zone, and then nine is Maranhão, Pará, Amapá, Roraima, and Amazonas. Um, and Also, I can't remember uh, which area Tocantins is in. I think it's a six actually with Brasilia, and Tocantins, it turns out, was part of Goiás prior to the adoption of the modern Brazilian constitution in 1988. So it's a relatively new state. Um, then let's see. And so I guess I can and go on to the next round. Now that I'm done with that short discussion. Okay, so this is very red soil. That this I find is an appearance that you find typically farther from the coast. Um, it's also relatively flat, which in Brazil surprisingly means that you are not near the coast usually. Um, that the coastal areas are hilly and that the interior has big flat plateaus in it. Okay. Um, so here I would say, um, let's see, Borracharia, um, pit stop. Um, yeah, this sort of architecture, especially with this sort of look, I think I've seen this, that this might actually be a rural round in Amazonia, or immediately to the south of it, in that I think that this could be like Rondônia or Acre, in here, um, that that you actually don't encounter rounds, out in the main part of the Amazon forest, because there aren't really that many roads, and many of the ones that they've got are just they're pretty awful. That it the conditions are, there's so much rain that it's difficult to maintain roads in the main part of the Amazon. But to the south of it, there's a region of which is more deforested. That you'll see along BR 364 here, coming in from Peru. Um, that you have particularly east of Porto Velho, that you have Hondonia, has quite a bit of deforestation in this area, and then in particular that Mato Grosso state has, which actually means the thick forest. Um, that it's been thinned considerably. And you can see that there's the pattern on the map, that there's still a lot of it here and here, but a lot of it is cleared in this area. Um, so yeah, I think it's likely to be out here. So I'm going to guess right now in Hondonia, and then I only have 20 seconds left, but so we probably aren't going to make it to anywhere with a lot of clues. But yeah, I like the color here. The other possibility with this sort of color, I think, could be in the northeast, but I think that would be drier. Um, and no, it was in the northeast actually, sort of. Okay, yeah. So this is that the other thing about the sort of the chainsaw belt out here. Um, we have Rondônia and Mato Grosso, and then also there's sort of you sort of have that also through Tocantins and this part of eastern Pará around Marabá. Then this was actually in Maranhão state. You can see, here Imperatriz is the second largest city in that state, and there's Açaí Longia, which must be named after acai, right? The Amazonian berry. Um, then so it was on this road 222. Um, right. And we're on the sea. Let's see. Yeah, Brazil's coastline is straight enough that that it's usually a good indication. Um, yeah, that this looks like it's oriented pretty close to north south, and also this coastline. It doesn't look like there's any land out here. It looks like this is one of those surf beaten sort of coasts with no protection to it at all. Um, and fortunately, like Brazil almost never gets hurricanes, or at least, before 2005, it almost never got hurricanes. Okay, we have Escola Gaucha de Surf. Gaucha is that's actually that I remember I said there are two states called Rio Grande. That Rio Grande do Sul is differentiated in the term, someone from the state, that they use this word gaucho, which means, originally it means a cowboy. And then for the other state, Rio Grande do Norte, there's a different term for a person from there, which I don't remember. But so, uh, let's see. Yeah, so this coastline certainly looks like it's the sort of place that we're looking at. It's big, long, and straight. Um, right. Okay. And also, yeah, that this is kind of, I mean, you'd sort of expect it with beachfront property, but that it looks like that also you can tell that, we're in an area that has somewhat more economic development. And that's true in general of southern states, that that there's more wealth, in and around the major cities, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and to the south of them, toward Argentina. Let's see. So yeah, okay. Oh, there's this tree is this is pinheiro brasileiro. That it looks a bit like a Norfolk Island pine, which are found in New Zealand. It's a member of the Araucaria genus of trees. And this is a conifer. Norfolk Island pine. A lot of you may have actually seen them before as a potted plant. Um, but they okay. Oh, yeah, so my random guess on the coast turned out to be right. Okay. So it was in Shangri-La. Okay. Um, okay, so now fifth round, we have that wonderful, earth color again. Um, so the previous one time that we had this, it was in the Northeast, right, in Maranhão. Um, okay. So again, I think we have, a less developed state, which would suggest the Northeast again. And I suggested, that it would be, that with this appearance before, that that the red dirt, flatter lands, so we're probably farther from the coast. Um, uh, nope, no, No area code on there. Was worth a shot. Oh wait, there's a state name on here. Um. Oh no, wait. I thought it said Serra. It says Certa. Um. Which is one of the states in the area in question. Yeah. So I'm going to plunk it here again. Near Imperatrice and Asailandia without having anything much better than okay 62 and Rio Branco. So Rio Branco is in Acre. Okay, so this time we actually did get the round that we were, because I had suggested Acre as a location before. Um, Acre ends with an E, like if it ended with an I, the last syllable would be stressed, but it ends in an E, so it's Acre. It's not Acre, which would be written with an I. Um, okay. Hmm. Yeah, there's another mention of Hugh Bronco, right? And 62 looks right for that, right? That yeah, so this is it's on the road BR 364 that goes to the Peruvian border. Um, and then that I find often that it's difficult to find things in urban areas, I mean, you can work things out given enough time, but 3 minutes, is kind of rough. But I think that we've got, and it was not in Rio Branco, it was in Goiânia. Okay, so there must be a neighborhood here called that, right? Or maybe not. Um, that's interesting. Um, hmm. Yeah, and so that's also something I guess to know is that that sort of beautiful red color, can be found in other areas. That yeah, I've seen it. As I said, I've associated it with a lot of the Amazonian deforestation area, which is around the edge here. From here up to around here, right? Hi. Yep. So I'm taping another one of these um, country expeditions. We have Brazil this time, right? Alphabetical order. And so this is the second game. Okay. So what part of Brazil do we have? It's relatively flat, and so as I said, that indicates often that you are not near the coast. It's okay. I wanted to. I couldn't really see that house back there. Um, yeah, with the appearance of the road and things, I'm thinking that this may be a more developed state. But it also does have kind of the northeastern appearance, right? That maybe a not so a less dry version of it. Um, let's see, we have Trans Norte North in the name. Um, let's see. Okay, we have Montes Claros. Okay, that's in. I know where that is. That's Minas Gerais, but it's in the northern part. So in Minas Gerais is generally a more developed state, but that really applies to the southern part around Belo Horizonte, um, and that Montes Claros is more in that this sort of landscape that there's this sort of landscape where it gets drier, that you see again, like the stereotypical, like more redder soils and drier conditions as you go to the north here, and then that this area, this interior northeast area, that the landscape is referred to as Sertão, which that's a word, it's sort of like referring to a veld or something like that. Um, and actually, the appearance is somewhat like, like a veld in South Africa. Um, except, of course, a totally different set of plant species. Yeah, oh, yeah, look at that. There's a nice mesa over there, in the distance. Um, so, this landscape is mostly flat, but, does have some things like that in it, it looks like. Also, it looks like it goes down a lot soon up here. Okay, so let's see. We have kilometer 37. It was, we're going south. I'm thinking maybe this is this road up here, this 122. Then 38 is numbered from the north end of the state. Um, that they, I think that the borns on Brazilian roads, they're numbered by state. I don't think it's like Russia where you can have borns with four-digit numbers on them in Siberia, right? Um, okay, so it was in so Montes Claros was a good clue. Like it was in that region, but it was this road over here, this MG 402. So this is the designation for your kind of secondary roads. And you'll notice that in Brazil, a secondary road like this is still, well maintained two-lane road. Like they have a pretty good highway department. Like this is radically different from, being in say Bolivia or Guatemala. In terms of that. And but certainly in less developed states, it does get to be more like that. And as I mentioned, that in the Amazon region, it's very difficult to maintain roads, and there are very few of them. Um, and it's because they wash out constantly. Um, okay, so here we have, yeah. So this is another well-maintained, nice two-lane road. Um, let's see. We have, okay, so the soil again, is sort of this orange red color. Um, yeah, here it definitely does look a bit on the dry side for Brazil. Yeah, yeah, and so the driest Sertão areas, which I think we're maybe looking at, are in this area, like southern Piauí and northern Bahia state. Um, and here there's Petrolina. Oh, and there's an interesting thing that you run into is that Petrolina and Juazeiro are just about the only metropolitan area in Brazil with two states in it. So if you see two different area codes, they're like 74 and 83 in the same place, that's where you are. And that, also those being, one of them starts with a 7 and one starts with an 8, that from what I mentioned earlier gives you the region of the country anyway. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind is that mostly Brazilian state lines, unlike in the United States, were actually drawn in a way that kept them out of cities. Um, and they drew those a long time ago, so I don't really know how they managed it. It just must have been a difference in style of how they drew them. Um, U.S. states, of course, the boundaries were drawn very much like the boundaries of countries in Africa. That they were done by rooms full of white men far away that barely knew enough about the geography to draw the lines, and that whatever they did in the United States, you ended up with a lot of places people wanted to inhabit that were on state lines. So they go through urban areas all the time. Um, yeah, so I think we're out in the middle of nowhere and not finding anything, which again means that we're probably out in the interior like this. I'm going to move it, out of the actual city, just in case, okay, and it's sort of an east-west road. Yeah, let's go over here instead. Um, Wait, was there a sign there? No. Uh, yeah, so we must be okay. So I was 401 kilometers off, which, for no geographic clues is pretty good. So it was near this park, the Serra das Confusões. Um, which does that mean that means the Ridge of the Confusions, I think. Um, yeah. And so yeah, so we were on BR 324. Um, that here you can see these sort of shield things are the major roads, which are referred to as BR. Like I mentioned, BR 364 is the sort of the chainsaw highway, of Amazon destruction, that runs through the southern edge of the Amazon sort of region to the Peruvian border, like through Porto Velho and Rio Branco. Um, okay, so okay, we have IFRR Campus Amajari. Okay, again, there the I or U at the end means that the last syllable is stressed. Um, let's see. So that Amajari definitely looks like a location. IFRR, I'm wondering if this is a state university of some sort, but I don't know what you would get. Okay, so we have okay. So again, okay, IFRR that way. Um, let's see. I think yeah. So here I think we have less developed area. Um, that and yeah, and just from the general appearance, I think northeast. Oh, another thing that will tell you things about region of Brazil is that there's a different distribution in Brazil of people of European and African descent. Um, that that you have more people of African descent in the northeast. Um, and then more people of European descent in the south. Um, let's see. Amazon gas. Okay, so that suggests that we may be farther to the west. Um, Although that could just be a corporate name, right? Um, let's see. It was IFRR. Could one of the R's stand for Hondonia? Which um, let's see. Yeah, this could be Hondonia. I mean, post that the sort of chainsaw belt, Amazon destruction landscape does look kind of like this. Um, oh, we have unusual birds. And it looks like IFRR maybe doesn't exist because like the road that the sign sent us on did not go to anything. Um, okay, so the question is, do I want to change this based on? Yeah, I think I am going to go with Hondonia. Just so I'll put it down in G Paraná, which is I think a much larger place than this actually is. Oh, nice thatched roof there. Um, yeah, so that's another thing is that like this I'm thinking might be that kind of architecture. Okay, it was Roraima. That uh, so Roraima also has areas are that it turns out some of the area here is not actually deforested. It actually came that way. I'm not really sure what causes the area to form a savanna instead of a forest, but um, that does happen. And there's in this pocket there's only one large town, Boa Vista. Um, and then this BR 174 leads to the border with Venezuela, where coverage stops. Um, that so far, no sign that the Google cars have been there. Okay, so we have um, again the very typically yeah, this doesn't look that different from the last one. In terms of yeah. Okay, so we're out on a dirt road, which is interesting. Um, that that Google coverage tends to often not have dirt roads. Except when conditions are relatively favorable. Um, this doesn't this doesn't look like it's ridiculously eroded, like a dirt road, like in the Amazonia would have. Um, that I'm thinking maybe this area is not extremely rainy. Um, but yeah, it could be wet season in a relatively dry climate though, which yeah, and it may even have a bit of the like central Brazil look, in Minas Gerais, or like definitely the look of that hill, that we the that okay. I saw just the one building there, which was just a wood structure. I Yeah. So let's see. There's trees around. Um, Wait, there was a sign over there. Wait, that one looks like it might be one of those government project signs. Electronorte. Um, okay, so that has north in its name. IP, Prefeitura Municipal de N period Ipixuna, Ipixuna. Um, yeah, I don't see anything here about a state though, which yeah. So let's see. So Ipixuna may be where we are. Oh, this is the Brazilian pole. This one is very characteristic. Um, so if you see were you here for that? Yeah, I mentioned a pinheiro from the chat. I mentioned the pinheiro brasileiro before. That's probably what you're referring to as a Parana Pine. Yeah, it's an Araucaria. It looks a bit like the Norfolk Island pines from New Zealand. Um, and they actually are that's not incidental. That the Araucaria genus is found on the southern continents, of Gondwana land. So, that it's strange for the same reason that every plant in Australia and New Zealand is weird. Okay. So in that last round, I should say, where it was. Okay, so we were near Marabá in okay, so I guess then I should have I of course I didn't even bother guessing because I was busy bloviating, which happens on these rounds a lot. Uh, but that this is again one of those sort of chainsaw belt Amazon destruction areas, and thinking about the appearance of the road, that makes sense. That so okay, so Um, oh, yeah, and so the score is going to kind of suck for this one. I think I have a silver or something on the Brazil map already. So no chances of me getting that here. Yeah, there's that pole again. Um, yeah, so that's oh, another thing I should mention about the pinheiro brasileiro, the Araucaria species that you find in Brazil is that from what I've seen, I think it's southern states where you see those. Um, let's see. So here, let's see, we've got that these are mostly like hardwood sorts of things, right? And something is wrong with the coverage. I don't know what it is. Um, Something on the lens, or okay. Um, so we got that fixed. Nope. Wait, is that a bug on the lens? Maybe like a. I mean, they bugs can be very large in Brazil, right? That. Yeah, something is stuck on the. Oh, there's coconuts. That indicates that we're not in a colder part of Brazil. Colder parts of Brazil are found, logically in the south, and that there's an altitude factor there. That for instance, Sao Paulo and Curitiba are several hundred meters above sea level. I think Curitiba is closer to 1,000, and that Curitiba is actually cold enough that it has snowed a little bit there in even in modern times. Um, and I think Sao Paulo has never had a snow, but that the temperature can still drop quite close to freezing there. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this coverage. Um, well, anyway, okay. It also looks like that satellite dish is not quite straight up, so we may be, significantly off the equator. And so with the appearance, we're running sort of short on time. I'm going to say we're significantly south of the equator, and that we're maybe, like near, uh, you know, uh, we're maybe in this area, right, closer to Belo Horizonte. But yeah, it looks like it's maybe getting toward a Soto sort of environment, where it's starting to dry out a little, and it's not very hilly, which you would find more in southern parts of Minas Gerais or. Okay, so I was way off, 173 points. Um, oh, so I was near Belém. Okay. Um, yeah, that's interesting because that satellite dish really did look like it was significantly all was quite a distance off vertical. There's maybe I'm missing something about how this works, but you can uh, estimate latitude from the appearance of satellite dishes that if they're pointing close to straight up, you know that you're near the equator. And then as you get off the equator, then the satellite dish points toward the equator, so in the northern hemisphere it points south, and in the southern hemisphere it points north. Okay. So we can go through our so that's my best score on the map so far is 17,331. I think I've only played it a few times. Okay. Um Also, we haven't gotten any big city rounds yet, this is very okay. Sometimes you see red soil in tropical areas that is very, very red. Um, I don't think I've seen it before in Brazil. Uh, I have seen it in Misiones province of Argentina, which is close to, um, let me get that alarm. Um, so Misiones province is actually adjacent to Brazil, um, but like this Route 14 in Misiones province has incredibly red dirt. But this, okay, so looking at this, yeah, I think this could be in the south like that, right? It's Yeah, I think it's too hilly to be near the Parana, though. This would have to be this would have to be this would have to be more like I'm thinking that maybe this is rural Sao Paulo state, up here. Um, Also, if it's rural Sao Paulo state, that we should see, like in a southern environment, we should see a relatively high level of economic development, which I think we're probably seeing here. Oh, MG is the abbreviation for Minas Gerais. So yeah, it makes sense that it could be the southern part of that state. Maybe somewhere here, south of Belo Horizonte. Juiz de Fora here is in the same state. Um, okay. We have a born kilometer 287. Um, don't know what that. Okay, so that's we're So in the chat we actually did have MG on a car. So does it does look like Minas Gerais, and in the south, it's not Montes Claros. Um, that I'm thinking it's closer to Belo Horizonte. Uh, Bargonçanete, uh, João Gibaro, that's maybe someone's name. Um, Yeah, okay. So it was so I had it south of Belo Horizonte, and that it was more near Governador Valadares and Ipachinga up here. Um yeah, so we did have the right idea about the appearance. Um okay, so we have Vindrice. uh Yeah, that there's often the thing comes up. How do you recognize Portuguese versus Spanish? And that could be so here refeições. That's obviously Portuguese, right? The C with the cedilla and the O with the tilde over it. Um, okay, so this is looks like it's probably a small urban area. I'm thinking that this is a lower level of development. For one thing, this road is probably not really paved, right? It's just hard earth. Um, and that this can be surprisingly similar to pavement in a tropical area. That soil. Once it's had plants taken off of it and exposed to sunlight, it can actually be a pretty tough surface. Um, let's see. Yeah, so I think this is probably in the Northeast. Looking at the general appearance. Oh, here, Omaraba. That's our location. Um, that as I mentioned, the indigenous names often have a accent on the last syllable, and that in the spelling ending with I or you wouldn't notice it, but here that to get the accent on the last syllable of Maraba, you have to actually indicate it. Um, and Maraba, I think it's up. Yeah, yeah, that's right. It's south of Belém. We had around in this area before, actually, on this stream, I think. Um, yeah, that's true. I think that the people that we saw tended to be uh, African descent. That this is that Maraba is actually might have somewhat more white people because it's in what I refer to as the chainsaw belt. There, yeah, 94 matches, right? That 94 is a phone number. Nine is in the north, and then I think yeah, that's right. That it was 91 was in Boa Vista on the previous round, and then they increased toward the east. Um, Yeah, and then although these are constructora Goiás, showing that, sometimes a state will be mentioned. Okay, but we had Marabá from the church. Okay. Um, so we got the right town at least. Okay. Okay, so here we have um, okay. Wait, there is a phone number on here. It looks, is that a seven? Um, yeah, looks like it might be 75, which would be Bahia State. And 79. Um, let's see. Do I think 79 has to be Bahia State? I think seven is all of it, which would mean that we would almost have to be in Salvador, given that this is a large urban center, right? Um, I don't remember though where offhand. Like I think Fortaleza is in eight. Uh, so um, yeah, we have Condat Sul. Um, let's see, Casa das Chinchas. Maybe this isn't a large city, like maybe this is yeah, that there were directional signs in this area. Just let's see. Oh, there's a street sign. Those sometimes have uh no, okay, maybe not. It said that the street was Silvio Teixeira. Um, let's see. Yeah, yeah, I thought that maybe, I mean, if it's not Salvador, I'm thinking, that maybe it could be Aracaju, or that maybe one of actually 79, now that I think about it. Yeah, I think this could be Aracaju. I mean, Aracaju is, not very small. Yeah. Also, I know that Pernambuco is in eight because that there's that I said before that Petrolina and Juazeiro are in states with different area codes, and they're right next to each other. And as I remember, one of them is in seven and one of them is in eight. So yeah, so the states on the tip are eight area codes. They're not seven. This is 79. Uh, and yeah, so I think let's see, shopping Rio Mar. Um, I mean, yeah, that I'm thinking we could be like right in the center of Aracaju from the. Oh, yep, it's Aracaju. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, that Aracaju is not in Bahia because the small states start here, right? That we have Sergipe is the state that it's in. Um, and then I think the border between seven and eight follows the São Francisco River here. So that Aracaju then that from what we've seen has a 7-9 area code, and then I think that Maceo and this state, which Alaguas, right, is next to Sergipe, and then Pernambuco is also in the eight zone. Okay, yeah. So I think that the seven zone then is just Bahia and Sergipe. I think Tocantins is six. Like Goiás is. Okay, so fourth round. 11. Okay, 11 is Sao Paulo. Um, yeah, I was wondering when we were going to get a major city round. Um, yeah, so we have there's only two rounds left on the stream. So I should be done fairly soon. Uh, let's see. Avenida dos Estados, Centro Santo André. Santo André is one of the suburbs. Yeah, yeah. So that's here. Um, I don't know how big the 11 code is in Sao Paulo State. If it's just the city or if it includes some surrounding area. Uh, Wait, 5 Porto Seguro, 5 Santa Teresina. That Oh, also Sao Paulo has street signs. Yep. Okay. Oh, but B. Okay, this is the neighborhood here. So the street is Vieira de Carvalho, and then it's Bairro Santa Teresina. Uh, Bairro is it's like barrio in Spanish, right? Um, so okay, so where's Santa Teresina? Hmm. Hmm. There's a lot of territory to cover. I'm pretty sure that these are the Sao Paulo signs. I've seen them before. Um, Santa Teresina. Um, yeah, there was a sign pointing to Santo Andre. Um, oh, this is Sao Caetano do Sul over there, which is not part of Sao Paulo. Um, so it's maybe over here, right? So Bernardo do Campo also is a separate town. It has a different uh thing here. Yeah. Um, okay. So it was um Villa Alto de Santo Andre. So maybe that. Oh, there it is. So Santa Teresina is not very big. Interesting pattern of roads. That there's these circular things here. Um, all right. Um, that also makes me wonder if yeah, is that still Sao Paulo? It's hard to tell on the map, of course, because the municipality boundaries aren't marked. Um, well, there's a roundabout in the middle here, right? But then there's actually a pattern of round roads around it, which is fairly unusual, actually. To find something that runs for with a radius in the hundreds of meters, that is an actual round road. Um, and it does happen sometimes. Okay, so this is the last round. Um, let's see. I'm thinking the satellite dish is at uh, it's not very vertical, which although that didn't work very well before, right? Um, um, Electrolira. Um, Guy looking at the Google car. Hmm. Um, yeah, yeah. I think this could be northeastern. Actually, the soil looks right. Um, let's see, there's some bananas there, which also, that would rule out higher altitude areas in the south. Um, like I think that like a banana would be sort of marginal, like in around the city of Sao Paulo. It might actually be too cold, uh, and like certainly Curitiba would not have bananas in it. Um, yeah, let's see. So I'm ending up in an area that doesn't seem to have a lot of. Yeah, I'm. Yeah. I mean, the level of development is, like higher than, looks higher than usual in the Northeast. I think it might be Goiás or, even, could even be farther west than that. But yeah, that comes to mind, like, maybe around, somewhere close to Brasilia and Goiânia. Um, uh, let's see. We have João S. de Souza as a street name. Yeah. Well, I'm running out of time. So okay, so it was actually Sao Paulo state, which see it was the southeast, and not typically where you think of as the southeast, though. It's out near the Parana. It was yeah, so it was near Ribeirão Preto. Yeah, that yeah, you do sort of get more of that interior, flat Brazil thing, like out in this western part of Sao Paulo state. And it can even look like that, even down toward Foz do Iguaçu down here. And, um, yeah, so that's definitely something to know that western Sao Paulo state can look like that. Okay. Oh, I got 20,139 points, which it's that I think should be okay. Yeah, I like the map. So we have the game breakdown. Yep. Um, yep. And so I guess that's the end of this stream. That the next one, of course, then we follow in alphabetical order. This is BR, so we would have BS and then BT. So the next one is Bhutan, uh, which I'll probably just play one game on. There's not much to that country. Um, so I guess I'll be doing that later. Probably not